I got the name Rusty back in high school. And I went to a Catholic girls' high school. And naturally, there were many Marys. And of the 6 of us that hung out together, 4 had the name Mary. So we took nicknames. And because I had long auburn hair, they nicknamed me Rusty.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Avalon Borough, which is a suburb of Pittsburgh.
Okay, so you're pretty much a Pittsburgh or suburb girl through and through?
Very much North Hills. Always to the north.
What was the city of Pittsburgh like when you were young? Because it has that kind of, I grew up in California, it has like kind of, you think of the steel mills and all that.
It was very smoky.
Was it really?
And a lot of soot from the mills. Where I lived is, there were factories just across the river, Ohio River. And every day we had to clean our front porch because there would be soot all over everything. In my young years, there were Model T Fords. I have ridden in a rumble seat.
That is funny. Wait, is that kind of like your first car memory of being in a...
Yeah, that is.
What, were you part of a big family, or how many brothers?
I was the youngest of 10.
The youngest of 10.
And all my brothers, there were 5 boys and 5 girls.
What was it like being the youngest? What was your... Were you in like was it kind of a rural area, or was it more of a city?
It was more of a rural. I mean, there were no farms or anything, but it was a small borough.
Okay.
Outside of Pittsburgh.
So the youngest of 10. Like, what was dinner like?
Oh, hectic, but we always had food on the table. I was born during the what was it?
You probably were born right in the Depression then.
Yes,
and all
I was born during the Depression. My father was just a clerk at Gulf Oil Company, and but he was able to support 10 children and his wife. We lived in a small house, which was 2 stories. That started to break.
I mean, like, what was sleeping? I mean, did the girls all pair up, or did how did you?
We did. The girls paired up. We had 3 bedrooms on the 2nd floor, and of course 10 children, 1 bathroom. So the 1 bedroom we had 2 beds in it. My mother and father had a room to themselves, and the other one had a couple of beds in it. And then there was a 3rd floor, which we called the attic.
Yeah.
And my brothers used to sleep up there, but there was no heat up there. And so in the wintertime, we always had a dog or 2 in the house. They would make sure the dog slept up there with them, keep their feet warm.
Give them warm, yeah. With 10 kids and 1 bathroom, I mean, was there showers? Was there, I mean, how did you, like, what was getting ready for school?
At first, we didn't even have a shower. We just had a tub.
Okay.
And I can remember my mother bathing me and my next oldest sister every Saturday, because that's the only time we took a bath and washed our hair. And in between, we just did the,
splash a little.
Anyhow, and then eventually my dad was able to put a shower and a bathtub in the bathroom.
But
there was a time when maybe a brother was taking a shower and you had to go to the bathroom and say, make sure you have we'd knock on the door and yell, make sure you have the shower curtain, I'm coming in.
The 10 kids, were they born pretty close, or what's the age difference of the?
When I was born, it was on my oldest sibling's birthday, which was a boy, and his name.
Oh, number one, the
number one.
1 and 10 matched up.
1 and 10, and the niece. We were all born on Thursday. Excuse me, Thursday, April 24th, 17 years apart.
Wow.
We were all pretty. I mean, we'd get into fights and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that's expected. But in the long run, when the bottom line was, we loved each other very, very much. And our parents. My mother was 95 when she passed away. My dad was 91. And everybody said, well, you have good genes. And I do, but they're not Levi's.
Did boys come after you in high school? They have to go through 10 people to be able to sift through them.
Well, by that time, the couple older ones were married.
Okay.
And so there weren't that many there, but going to an all-girls high school, we would have dances, and then everybody was supposed to bring a brother or brother and a friend, and you know. So my first boyfriend, I got to. That's how I met my first boyfriend.
Is that one of those dances?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was grammar school in a kind of a conventional schoolhouse, or was that also a Catholic school?
It was a Catholic school, but it was a conventional schoolhouse. I mean, it was. Actually, it was in Bellevue, which is right next to Avalon.
Okay.
And that's where the Catholic Church was. And I went to 8 years there, and then 4 years to high school, but I never got to go to college because my parents couldn't afford that. And got a job right out of high school with Bell Telephone in the business office.
Do you have kind of early teenage World War II memories at all, or what?
Oh my gosh, yes.
What was that? I love hearing people's perception of World War II.
Well, World War II, which happened, I think, on a Sunday, December 21st. December 7th.
Yeah, December 7th, right.
And I can remember us hearing it. In fact, I have in my living room a radio cabinet that had one of those radios inside.
Yeah. Is that it was kind of the family gathered around the radio?
Yes, and we heard that, you know, Roosevelt declared war, and
yeah, the whole day of infamy.
Well,
speech.
Then myself and I think a brother and sister, maybe two sisters. Anyhow, we walked over to my aunt's house, which was maybe a mile away, and because she and her husband lived there, they had no children, and she was very close to us and helped my mother raise us, you know. And we wanted to be with her too, so I remember walking over to her house, and then during the war, all 5 of my brothers were in the service.
Everything was rationed and shortages.
It was rationed. We had coupons that we had to use, or tickets. I don't know what you call them.
Yeah,
I forget what you call them.
Like coupons or something. Yeah.
And
but what you were talking about, you made how are you making this fake butter?
Well, we would get the margarine or the lard, whatever it was, in a plastic bag with this yellow button in it, and then we just kind of squished it with our hands to get the yellow button
so that it
mixed through.
It would turn the lard to look yellow,
so it looked like butter.
God, that is incredible.
And
so what did your this kind of sounds fascinating for me. It's like what did, if you don't mind, just say the name of your brothers and what each one of them did in World War II. Your 5 brothers.
Okay, the oldest one was on a LST.
Yep.
in Europe.
Yeah, those are all the up and
Yeah,
downs.
a landing
Yeah.
barge. The next one was a CB in the South Pacific. And you know what that was?
Yeah.
They went in and built the roads and
Right.
stuff. And then the next oldest was in the Army, and he was stationed.
What was his name?
His name was Ormond. We
Okay.
called him Abe. And he was stationed in somewhere in Massachusetts, I think. But anyhow, he never went overseas because he wore glasses. And then the next one was on a PT boat in the South Pacific, the same time as Kennedy was.
Wow.
My youngest brother was in the Army. He was stationed in the United States, never went overseas either because he wore glasses.
So so if you had glasses, you automatically did not go overseas?
Well, that's what they told me.
It sounds like strong Catholic family. Did you like prayers every week for the boys over? I mean, what was
we said grace every night at dinner,
Yeah.
and we went to Mass every Sunday. And I can remember as a past teenager, young 20s, having a date on Saturday night, staying out late, and then walking from Avalon to Bellevue, which was close to a mile, to go to Mass. But I always went to 12 o'clock because I couldn't get up after being out late. You don't tell anybody this, Brian.
Yeah.
No, it's
What was late? Like what would be at that age? What would your definition of out late be?
Probably 1 o'clock
Oh, that's pretty late.
at that time.
Wow,
yeah.
Rusty's got some game here. At World War II, like where were you when the war was over? I'm trying to picture myself as your mother and father. Like
Okay.
3 of the kids are spread out. You know, 2 are in the U.S. thankfully, and 3 are overseas.
Well,
How nervous that must be.
And then they, of course, they all came home, and I can remember hearing about, you know, the signing of the peace and everything,
Yeah.
and we all just went, yay!
Yeah.
And
Because it must have been, I don't know if you remember this, but just like when all the brothers were back together for the first time, that had to be like, what a joyful reunion.
I have a picture of that.
Wow.
It was it was before the war was over, but it was one Christmas when they all were able to get home for a visit. And I have a picture of that.
Did you wind up getting married, kids, your own life that way, or?
I did get married and had 5 kids.
So talk about how your courtship, how did you find, what was your husband's name?
Well, his real name was Alfonso, but we called him Pete. And I did not meet him until 1952.
Okay, so
So he had been in the service too, but I didn't know anything about that.
did you chase him or did he chase you?
He kind of chased me.
Did you play?
Actually, he worked for PPG, Pittsburgh Paint.
Yeah.
Okay. He went to Rensselaer Polytechnic in Troy, New York, and graduated from there as a physicist.
Really?
And then he went to work for Pittsburgh Plate in the glass department. And then they opened up the fiberglass department because fiberglass was coming in at that time, and they had just begun that division. And he got in right on the ground floor
Okay.
with that. But he ended up director of sales, even though he was a physicist. But anyhow, and my aunt worked at PPG also. So one day there was a few guys in an office room talking about women, of course. And the one guy said he would like to meet a nice blonde, and the other one a nice brunette. And as my aunt walked in, the third one said, "Oh, I'd like to meet a nice redhead." She said, "I have just one for you, and she's Catholic." And he said, "Well, I'm not going to marry her." So the next couple weeks, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks later, she had to get together a few people at her house because she was married. And she decided to invite my husband and me for me to meet him. And he took me home from her house. And
Well, you said your husband, I mean, this is the first time you met?
yeah,
Okay, kind of, okay.
at my aunt's house.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he asked me for a date. And I said, okay, but I had a boyfriend that was overseas in Germany. So, but I was, I was dating.
About how old would you have been then?
22.
Okay.
So to make a long story short, yes, he sort of kept after me, and I kept saying I have a boyfriend. And I kind of tried to push him off on my sister. And he had one date with her, and he said, no, that didn't work out.
Oh, that is so funny.
So anyhow, I met him in August of 52, and we were married July of 53.
So, okay, things move quick then. So, did you write a Dear John letter to the guy in Germany?
I did. And so I would say about 20 years ago, I got a phone call from the old boyfriend.
Oh, really? Oh, that is so funny.
And his wife had died, and he knew my husband had died. And because I've been a widow for 4 years.
Oh, really? Wow.
And I went out to lunch with him, and I thought to myself after I left lunch, how did I ever really think I loved this guy?
Did you ever marry after?
No, never dated
Really?
in 40 years.
That's really, I mean, not to say anything inappropriate. You're a pretty attractive woman there. So is it just something you just didn't want to do?
Thank you. My cousin, who was a doctor, he said the same thing to me many times. I don't know why these guys that are out there, why somebody doesn't pick you up. And I said, I'm really not looking for anything. I said, between my family and friends and faith, I'm doing just fine. And I'm still the same way. I'm just doing fine. In high school, I played basketball. I was on the team for 4 years in high school. Star captain. And,
What was your signature move? What were you were you a good shooter?
I started out as a guard. Then I went to a forward. But in those days, you only played half court.
Yeah. Okay.
5 on a team, half court, and ended up as being a pretty good forward. After I had 4 kids, I took golf lessons because my husband played golf, and I played for just a short time and found out I was pregnant. So I gave up golf, and because with having 5 kids, it was just took up too much time.
Yeah. Well, what was the age range of your 5 kids?
Well, the first 4 were every 2 years apart, and the last one was 5 years.
Talk about your kids and your favorite thing about each kid.
All right. The oldest went to Clarion University for a year and didn't like it. He didn't like
What's his name?
Tony.
Tony, okay.
And he didn't like learning out of books, you know what I mean?
Yep.
He wanted hands-on. And so he came back home, and then he went to technical school and graduated from, I think it was a 2 or 3 year technical school. And he is now retired from Alma Actuators. Do you know what that is? Actuators are what turn valves on and off.
Yeah, I do. I didn't know the name of the company. I didn't know that.
He worked for Alma Actuators, ended up as being director of sales and vice president. So he's now retired, and he takes me anywhere I want to go. Every other week, he takes me into Inglewood to get my hair done, where I used to go, and picks me up every Sunday and takes me to church, and does a lot of other things. A doctor's office.
So he's the guy. Tony's the go-to.
He pretty much takes care of my finances too.
Okay.
Yeah. And the next oldest was Mike. He went 1 year to Clarion, didn't like it, came home, and then he went to a college right near our house, La Roche College, and graduated from there. And he's retired also. He was a policeman, and he retired as chief of police in the Hampton Township.
Wow.
And then my daughter went 1 year to Pitt, Johnstown.
Okay, what's her name?
Chris.
Chris, okay.
And she didn't do well there. So she came home, and she went to Robert Morris and became like a secretary or something.
Okay.
I mean, in the commercial.
Yeah.
So, and she is now retired. My son Tony had 4 kids. Mike had 2 kids. My daughter has 2 girls. And
there seems to be a theme of the first 3 that they don't like their first college experience.
Right.
And then they wind up doing pretty well with choice 2.
Then the third one, no, she was the third. The fourth one was my son Greg, who went to Penn State, and it took him 5 years to graduate, although he was the smartest one.
They're all going to see this, so watch what you say.
Yeah, and but he's now retired also, and they had 3 boys, and then the youngest one is the only one still working.
Okay.
And I don't know the name of the company or too much of what he does, but he's doing very well.
What's his name?
Doug.
So who is, of the 5 kids, who is the most likely to get in trouble?
The second oldest, though, was the policeman. Mike.
95. I mean, you look great. You sound great. Is there things that you did in your life that, did you watch your diet? Did you exercise? I mean, you're remarkable. I'm just going to hang here for a second as we finish.
I told you I tried golf.
Okay.
And that didn't work. So I went to tennis, and I played tennis probably till I was 80. And I bowled in a women's league, a couples league, and up until I was 85 or 86. And I have bad knees and shoulders. They are severe degenerative arthritis with no cartilage left. So the knees and the shoulders are done.
So what do you do now to exercise?
We gotta
hear it.
I go to Silver Sneakers.
So I am our Aspire Wellness Director, which means I do all the recreational programs from fitness center, art classes, intellectual lectures, trips, and all that stuff. I kind of oversee that part for our campus here, our residents, and also community members. Yeah, Rusty is one of our most active and consistent members in the fitness center. Rarely misses a class.
Watch what you say.
And she sits in the back corner and tells jokes and, you know, all the fun stuff.
What advice do you tell that person who's just thinking their best years are behind them and they're complaining and all that stuff?
I hate complainers. And I just say, you got to keep moving. You got to, you know, have at least a good outlook that you can live longer. I mean, you know, and be happy. I don't watch what I eat, but the doctor says I should. And,
I like how you said that kind of quietly, like you're going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and I always say, once you reach 80, you can do and say anything you want.
What are you the most proud of in your life?
My 5 kids. They're great. They all get along. I know they all love me. They tell me all that all the time.
Just summarize kind of your philosophy of life and this life you've led. How would you describe that?
Well, I guess I would say life goes on, because my husband died 40 years ago. And at that time, I probably could have just quit. And I decided life goes on. I'm going to live it. And now I just take it day by day.
What do you do now that gives you joy?
I play bridge, and I go to Silver Snakers, and I'll play any kind of cards, really. I've played poker with the guys here a couple times.
Well, it has been an absolute honor to hear your story and drive you around. Brian, thanks for setting this up. You're like a living angel, so I hope you're. But thanks so much for being on this ride for us.
You're welcome.
And we're home safe and sound.
Yes, we are.